next step, which involves taking all this composing to plan that you've been doing over the last couple of days and put it into a first draft composition. So you have all kinds of stuff that you've brainstormed and written down and talked about, and so we're going to put that together and also put it in a form that you can share with other people so everyone can see all the different things that are going on, and you'll get a little bit of feedback on what you've created. So what we're going to do is, here we go. So you'll work either alone or with your partners, depending on what you've been doing as far as your planning goes. If you've been working with one or two other people, then you will just make one poster of what your planning is. If you've been working alone, you'll make one for yourself. And try to include as much of the following as possible. Now, we recognize that people work at different speeds, obviously, and some of these things you may not have finished that you've only started talking about. So you want to get on here as much as you can of what you have. So include your essential question, and then let's see, we have right here we go. So your essential question, we have culminating project, but I'm going to change that because what we actually want is notes about your performance task, not the whole thing, but just kind of a breakdown of what is going to happen in your performance task. A little bit about your front-loading activity if you have it, ideas from your instructional sequence, things that happened or that you think you're going to do, even if you don't have those all fleshed out. Any other ideas that you have that you want to placehold, and then possible text that you've talked about that you could use as part of your unit. And then when you're finished, so we'll bring around posters and markers, and when you're finished with as much as you have, you'll just find a place to hang it on the wall, and that will tell us when people are finished and we're ready to spend some time walking around looking at those standards.
So this is their individual part, and then this is as a group. First and second hand. Yeah, that's good.
You have this pretty complete draft of a lot of ideas that came out of this, and so I want to do a quick debrief. This is called the PQP, and this is something that students can do with individual students in responding to work, or that you can do as a full class debrief for, I mean, you could do it for if you've had a discussion and you want to debrief that discussion, or if you've got pieces that you've looked at, or whatever it is that you'd like to debrief some work. So PQP starts with praise. So is there anything that you saw either as a whole that we did really well on, or any specific things that you really liked on particular posters? So what are some of the good things that you see when you consider all these drafts and unit plans? I'll start with one. I really like to see how you have pulled from these many instructional strategies and picked the ones that you think you could adapt right away for your unit. So that's one thing that I really was pleased with that I saw.
Yeah, I was fascinated by the essential questions because they're fun to read and to think about all the ways they could apply.
And essential questions are hard to write, so we went through that fast. You had very little time to draft them, and so really great. Yeah.